Hey, Merry Christmas, everybody. This is the Heat Call that happens every Tuesday night, except for the first Tuesday every month. It's one of the ways we connect as a big, huge family, and we're so excited tonight. My name is Alita Spire, and I'm so excited for our guest speaker. I just love Regan. She began her Juice Plus journey in 2003. She had no idea what the impact of sharing a great message would have. Not only did her friends and family benefit, but now thousands of people all over the world are getting healthier with Juice Plus. The power of network marketing allows her to spread hope, love, tools, and achieving optimum nutrition through the efforts of many. One of Regan's favorite sayings is, "Many hands make light work," and the money and the mission have to get married. Because of the opportunity to partner with amazing team members today, she's been able to not only help others with their health, but have been blessed with an incredible monthly income stream. Regan was nominated and was the recipient of several health awards. We got some funny people in the background. Well, Elton Awards, including 12, 24, and 39 Club Member of the Year. Regan and her NMD husband, Richard, own other businesses in addition to their Juice Plus franchises, which includes land development, Colorado and Florida. They love and appreciate the blessings of their Juice Plus income as it provides a safety net around their finances that they can enjoy the life to the fullest. Regan and Richard recently joined the Empty Nesters Club. And moved to the foothills of Denver to enjoy the beautiful mountain. And I've seen that weather. That's insane. And the views of the city. They enjoy travel, skiing, hiking, and getting to do whatever they want, when they want, and however they want to do it. And that thanks to the freedom they have achieved through the Juice Plus company and their virtual franchisee. When I first heard Regan, I was blown away, not only because I thought she was but in a snowstorm. Hey, you hear that?
What is that?
I don't know. Mark?
Everything is muted.
Mark's been muted. I don't know. All right, there we go.
Oh, let's try it. Wow.
So the reason why I'm just so excited to have her share with you is one of her, maybe she'll lead off with it, but one of her stories that she shared was that she was part of seven network marketing businesses. 7. Can you imagine going to your friends and family and saying, "Oh, by the way, this is like the 8th time I've asked you to get something from me"? So I would love for you to share with us just how that happened and how you got to this incredible income, over 100 Club. Just, you're a beautiful woman of passion and love. And Regan, I thank you so much for joining us tonight. And I just can't wait to hear it again because I haven't heard it in like 10 years. So I'd like to introduce Regan Dean.
Thank you guys so much. It's an honor to be here for you guys. And thanks for tuning in. I know it's a short week because of all of the holidays. I don't know about you, but it's always kind of hard to get everything done before we go into that. So I'm glad to be here. And yes, 7 network marketing experiences. Holy cow. And I love telling people that. Actually, it's kind of funny because I was going to do a boot camp training in Colorado, and I was like, oh, I have some previous experience, and I started writing them all down, and I was almost embarrassed to tell everybody how many. So give you a little background on how that happened. Well, I grew up in a really small town in Colorado, Silt, Colorado. Can you imagine being from Silt, Colorado? And even though I got great grades in high school, I ended up running out of money my first semester in college, and I needed to go into real estate. So I sold real estate when I was 18 years old with braces and a two-door car. Can you imagine? And then when I was 20, I had a New York Life office in Grand Junction, Colorado. And that's kind of where I was introduced to network marketing as well. And well, actually, one of my high school teachers got me into selling Mary Kay when I was still a senior in high school. And I really didn't do a whole lot with it. Honestly, I just got started with it because I loved I loved the smell of the case. It smelled like new baby dolls when you opened it up, and it had all these things hanging in, it had all these colors, and I love makeup, and I wanted that little mirror. They had this little pink mirror that you could put the stuff in and have the mirror. Do you guys remember that at the Mary Kay parties? And I was so excited. So, but when I was really hurting for money, I decided, gosh, I should probably do some Mary Kay parties. So after the first couple, I had a situation where I had everybody put their mask on, and a lady said to me, she started screaming, "Oh my gosh, it's burning my face." And I looked, and she looked like somebody spray painted her red. And I was like, oh my gosh, I don't need this. That scared me right out of Mary Kay and right into Arbonne, which was supposed to be a little bit more gentle. So I got recruited out of Mary Kay, went into Arbonne. I thought that was great. But honestly, you know, I was trying to sell real estate and running lipstick and things around to people all day long. It just, you know, I love Mary Kay and I love Arbonne, and all, by the way, all the companies, just a little disclosure, all of the companies I'm mentioning, they're all good companies. Okay. They all have really good products. It's just, you've got to choose the right company for you. And for me, even as much as I love Mary Kay lipstick and I loved the Arbonne cleansing system at the time, driving and dropping off a lipstick on somebody's doorknob really was not fulfilling in my life. And so that kind of went by the wayside. And then I have to look to see what the next one was. But then I got into, I don't know if any of you guys remember, but KM. Anybody guys remember KM? It was hitting the gyms like crazy. It was a supplement that was supposed to help you be super healthy, and it tasted a little bit like marigolds, but it was in like one of those Cycle 2 bottles where you squeezed it and it came up and gave you just the right amount of shot and you could drink it. And everybody was walking around the gym with this, but it made me really sick. So I had to stop selling that, because how could I sell that if it didn't make me feel good? And then after that, I had a little stint in Melaleuca. I went to a Melaleuca party, and I thought it was such a great idea. Again, great company. I got the kit, and that night I took all the Melaleuca stuff. I cleaned my house with all the Melaleuca cleaning products. I took a shower, and I bathed in everything Melaleuca. And about an hour after that, I went into anaphylactic shock. I was so allergic to whatever is in just the tea tree in Melaleuca. They have their own patented version of that. And I ended up in the hospital and having to have emergency shots so I could breathe. And I had a rash over my entire body. It was terrible. So the next day the kit went back for that. So that wasn't going to work for me either. You would think I would be giving up by this time. But lo and behold, I moved to California, and I met some girl that was standing outside the grocery store, and she was inviting people to come with her to an Herbalife party so I could meet Mark Hughes, who was the guy that started Herbalife. And my whole life, which is really funny, I did go to the Herbalife thing, and I have a very sensitive sense of smell, and everybody smelled like vitamins, and I was getting sick to my stomach just from the smell of the people, which I know is terrible, but it's true. But I thought, gosh, it seems like such a nice guy, such a nice group of people. Go ahead and sign me up. Well, I've never been able to take vitamins. My whole life, my mom would make us take those little Flintstone vitamins or whatever as kids, and I was the kid that either threw up, which made her really mad, or I had to lay on the couch for half an hour and sweat and let it pass. And I've always been that way my whole life. I've never been able to take a multivitamin. And so after trying to convince people that they should use Herbalife, but I couldn't use it, I decided that was not going to work for me either. And then I returned back to Grand Junction, and somebody brought over an NSA water filter and installed it. It was there for one day. I decided I couldn't afford it and sent it back. Big mistake. I should have listened to those people, but I didn't. And then I suckered my husband. We got married, and I suckered my husband into joining me in Amway. And that was actually when I really did work hard in Amway. It was really the only one that I would say that I really did put a lot of effort into it. My boss at New York Life, who I would have jumped off a cliff for, he was great. You know, he said it was the great thing to do. I did everything he told me to do. And I was driving to all kinds of different places around Colorado. I was driving to Wyoming, and I was meeting with people that literally were hanging their last hope on Amway. And these were people that I was like, they're nice people, but they're not really the kind of people that I really want to hang out with. So after about 5 years of just kind of struggling through that and really not making any money, even though I was diligent, I was picking up my soap, I was delivering it, we had to cut paychecks to people, it was a lot of work. I just decided I was done with that. And then I forgotten that I couldn't take vitamins, and I got into another one called BodyWise, which is another really good vitamin company, and couldn't take the products again. And so about a year after I decided that was really done, why'd I do that again? My brother introduced me to Juice Plus, and I absolutely would not listen to him because I thought that is the last thing I need is a vitamin. And that's the last thing I need is another one of these get rich quick scams, which the other ones, again, they were all great products and, but they just weren't for me. And so I actually would not even listen to them for about a year. And I had hurt my leg skiing. A little girl tripped me on my skis. One of my daughter's 6-year-old friends tripped me on my skis, blew out my knee. And I was really into athletics then and was not healing very well. And so he said, look, you know what are you doing tonight? And I said, nothing, thinking, they want to go to dinner. And he said, I'm picking you up so you can see what you're saying no to. And he literally drugged me kicking and screaming to a Juice Plus event. And it was one of those events where there were supposed to be other people. They had other Juice Plus reps there. Of course, all of their people didn't show up. One of those, right? We all have had one of those. I was the only guest. And I got introduced at my NMD introduction as the health talk heckler because that's really what I was. I was terrible. And I disagreed with them. And I thought I knew everything because I was reading, Dr. Phil and Oprah and trying all this stuff that I didn't have a clue. I knew quite a bit about nutrition because of athletics, but I didn't know as much as I thought I did. But what happened was when I found out that it was just food, it was actually Dr. Du Bois on the video. When I found out it was just food, I thought, oh my gosh, that kind of makes a lot of sense. Oh, there's research. That kind of makes sense. And I wasn't going to listen to the people, but I would listen to Dr. Du Bois. And when I found out that I could get it for free for the kids, honestly, what happened is I ordered it for them and my husband and I came by default. That's really what happened. And on the way out the door that night, this girl, she said to me, she said, your kids are going to start craving fruits and vegetables. And I remember I rolled my eyes and thought, oh, those are force-fed. And then I said, you know what? I know how these things work. How much is it to be a distributor? And she said $50. And I figured out that I would save $10 per order, that I might as well just sign up. That is really how cheap I was. I signed up to save $10. And so what happened was I got home. My husband said, what's this? I said, I don't know. Just take it. It didn't upset my stomach. And about a month later, my son orders a salad out for dinner. Richard and I are kicking each other under the table, like, don't ruin it. We don't know what's going on. But all of a sudden, our kids started eating healthy food. They didn't like fast food anymore. And I had no idea what was going on. I noticed that all of a sudden, all my girls that I was cycling with, they were saying, what are you doing? I'm like, why? They're like, well, you're not tired. You're talking uphill. You're recovering faster. And I'm like, gosh, maybe this stuff works. So a year later, I decided I better go check and find out what this company was all about. Because I had then had all of our cycling team on Juice Plus. I was making around $800 a month, and I had forgotten about the research. I'd forgotten about it being food and not causing an issue. I had forgotten, everything I had ever learned and the reason why we were taking it. And so I thought I better go check out this company and make sure it's legit, because what if it's one of those things? So, I think we all secretly worry about our credibility, right? We don't want to be recommending something that's going to hurt our credibility, when we're talking to our friends. And I had all my friends taking Juice Plus. And so I think that's the thing too, is that when you guys are thinking about, when you're talking to other people, you have to remember where they're coming from. They may have had 7 other bad experiences, or companies that maybe weren't good. I think all of these companies are all good companies. I don't think KM's in business anymore, but all of these companies are good companies. But some people have had really, really bad experiences. And so we need to just sometimes slow down and give them a little, gosh, you know what, I can appreciate that, but let me tell you about my friend Regan. You know, she had 7 others, and what she found out is that Juice Plus made a lot of sense for her family, and it did. It made sense for my family, but it was also something that I felt that the more I shared it, the more difference I could make on this planet. It was something that moved me. It moved my soul. I was having people that were really ill saying, oh my gosh, I'm so much better. Or, you know, I had friends that had cancer that the doctors were saying, what are you doing different? And so for me, hooking my wagon to Juice Plus made a lot more sense because, you know, at the time, even though my husband and I own a lot of different businesses still to this day, I was pretty much raising my kids, but I wanted to be able to still use my brain. I still wanted to make a difference in the lives of other people. And I just wasn't in it to make money. Okay. In fact, when I got started with Juice Plus, I lived in the house of my dreams. I really didn't need a job. I was happy riding my bike and playing golf and raising my kids and trying to keep up with, you know, whatever Richard needed me to help him do a little bit here and there. But I wanted something that I felt like it was important to do. And so I found out that Juice Plus was just a great match. And so literally from the day I went to conference, I got to hear Dr. Du Bois and Dr. Sears and Dr. Tolzer and a bunch of other doctors talk about why they recommend Juice Plus. And I walked out of that conference going, oh my gosh, what if I don't tell somebody? I will feel so bad if I don't tell every single person I know and give them the option to hear about Juice Plus, and they can decide for themselves. It's not about me selling them something. And that's what I did. I came home, I made my list, and I said, everybody I care about, it's never going to happen to me that they didn't get to hear about Juice Plus. And many of them joined my team, and 2 years later, because we all were affecting our communities together, I walked the stage as National Marketing Director. So, you know, again, it wasn't about making money. It was about making a difference. And I think that if you can kind of get Juice Plus into your heart and realize that you really hold a gift for other people, you can go out and make a huge difference and have a huge paycheck as well. So that was kind of the long and about story there, Alita, but.
That was really great. And before you get into what's working for your team right now, how did you initially get all of those people who bought all those products from you to get them to listen to you do one more thing?
You know, it's funny. A lot of people are worried about that if they've been in something else, but I will tell you that nobody is thinking about that anyway. People switch jobs all the time. And, you know, you just got to find the right thing. And just because Mary Kay wasn't right for me, maybe it's right for somebody else. And thank God it's right for somebody else, right? Because that's, you know, a great product. But, you know, I don't think anybody is going to look down on you because you are still looking for the right thing, right? It doesn't mean that that product was bad or it was a scam. Unless you are in one of those, you don't really have to worry about it.
You're so right. And that's such great confirmation from you. It's just wonderful that you would spell it out that way, because that would be my first question when I first met you, is like, how did you, we all have those pitfalls in those times when we can't pick up the phone because we think, what if, but yet just to expose and say, you know, it wasn't the right company and product for me, but maybe it is for you, but I'd like to introduce you to, you know.
Yeah, and you know, again, I mean, I think that as, you know, people, we tend to share good things. And so, you know, I'm not sad that I shared those other products with other people. They were good things for them at the time. And I don't think that if I have a friend that was around then when I shared some of those, I don't think they're going to look down on me for finding something else that's great, right? We do that all the time. Like, oh my gosh, like last year for Christmas, I gave everybody laughed, but now this year, they're like, that was the best gift ever. I gave everybody a scrub daddy.
Oh.
You know, so that's a good thing, right? I'm not embarrassed that I gave everybody a scrub daddy. They all loved it, right? It was kind of a little joke gift under our Christmas tree, but you know, so we all share good things all the time. And now they're like, that was the best thing.
Okay, so that had to be something from a different company, right? What is a scrub daddy?
A scrub daddy was the #1 product sold from Shark Tank ever.
Oh,
and it's
wow.
A smiley face, so it's happy, and it's just, you know, and when it's dry or cold water, it's hard, and so you can scrape it, and when it's warm, it just turns into like a little sponge. It's great.
Oh, I'll have to look at that.
Yeah.
Well, I tell you, that was a story of determination, perseverance, stepping over loopholes. It's just amazing. You obviously met the right company, because here you are, one of the top leaders in our company. But I love watching this on gallery view so I can see everybody's face. It's great. But, we're all sitting here going, wow. So tell me what's working in you mentioned a little bit when we were talking the other night about what's working in your business right now as far as the Zoom calls and stuff.
Well, before I go into Zoom calls, I would just say events are working. I know that, with social media, everybody thinks, oh, I need to build this on Facebook. And I will tell you that Facebook is a great door opener. But if you think you're going to post a bunch of stuff up on Facebook all the time and everybody's going to come, knocking down your door, that's not the case. You want to be able to use social media as a door opener and a validation tool. But when it comes to it, you've got to get eyeball to eyeball, ear to ear, belly button to belly button with somebody somehow. Now, since we've had Zoom has become such an amazing tool. I'll tell you, we did something a couple of weeks ago with one of my team members. She lives up in a small town in Wyoming. And she ended up I had her have everybody come over to her house. So she had a whole living room full of people. I came in as the presenter on Zoom. She'd never done a wellness. She got herself to 2,000 plus without anybody's help. I came in to do her first presentation for her. I'm like, let's do something. I can't drive all the way up there, but I can be there on Zoom. And then I said, but why don't you invite some other people as well? So we also had somebody on the other side of the state. We had somebody in Colorado, and we even had somebody on an airplane who attended that event. And because I was on Zoom, I could talk to them just like I'm talking to you. I just had her, and we had some technical difficulties. Her Apple TV wasn't working right. So she just got her iPad out. And then I like to go and I like to ask everybody what motivated them to come. And so of course, I asked everybody on screen first, and then we had her just kind of walk around, and I talked to each person one-on-one, and it was just great. Everybody loved it. I don't think anybody thought any different. It felt like we were all just together, and that is working really well to be able to combine those events. So don't think you have to do just live or whatever. You can combine them. But I think doing events. Now, for everybody that's moving quickly on my team, they are doing lots of live things, because I think that, nobody wants to be on an island. Everybody wants to do this with somebody, right? We want to be buddies together. And so when you can create that team synergy of people getting together and having fun, that's contagious, and that's going to make a difference. So if people see you having fun and you're inviting people into your home and maybe doing luncheons or Zoom calls, and everybody's really nice, like we all are, all of this Juice Plus people are amazing, they're going to want to join in too. They're not going to be threatened by that. So you've got to create that atmosphere, and you can't do that just through text or email. You've got to get, where people can get to know you, right? So whether that's salad jar parties or healthy living revolution parties, we did Transform 30. We love, with the program. I am going to say something about that, by the way. The program is Juice Plus. Okay, so whether please don't get slowed down because one of your friends is doing this and another friend is doing that. The program is Juice Plus, right? They're all the same, and our whole goal is to help people flood their body with fruits and vegetables, and whatever you want to call it your blue in the face program. I don't care. The program is Juice Plus. And so go out and get some people healthy, because the more people that you get healthy, the more you're going to bless them and the better you're going to do. And what I love about our company is that they're not asking us to go out and get 1,000 customers. They're asking us to love on our community, our warm market. And then when those people join us, we help them love on their warm market. And that duplicates again. And pretty soon, you guys, what happens is you end up having people on your team that they have no idea who you are. You have no idea who they are, but they're there because you shared it with a few of your close friends in the beginning. And that is a beautiful thing. Just beautiful.
That's awesome. It absolutely is. And, I think we get so preoccupied. When is my next rep coming? And when is my next rep coming? And if we would just go out with big hearts and share from our heart, getting one family, eyeball to eyeball, healthy, one day at a time, that usually the cream rises to the top, right?
Well, and that's the other thing too, is that you have to remember that a healthy team is made up of a lot of really casual people. And so when I have somebody who starts with me, whether they're a customer or they're joining as a team member. I always say to them, look, my number one goal, and really my only goal for you, is that you have a great experience here. You have a great experience with Juice Plus, and you have a great experience in our team, and you get to play at whatever level you want to. But what that doesn't mean is that I'm not going to sit around and cry about somebody that didn't follow through with what they said they were going to do. I'm going to be grateful that they're taking Juice Plus. Maybe they shared with their mom because I gave them a license to share. In other words, a distributorship, right? But you don't get slowed down and stop talking to people because your 3 friends that you happen to bring onto your team are going to be casual people. You need those casual people on your team. And, you know, someday they can wake up and be something else. Sometimes they can lead you to other people. And sometimes their role on your team is just to be in the bleachers, but at least they're at the game, you know? So you're looking for your 5 players that want to be on the court, and you keep talking to people. You know, the thing is, people think that, oh, you get to NMD and then we have this magic formula. You guys, we do the same thing you guys do every day. We just did more of it. We got more no's, and we keep going. I still frontline sponsor just as much as I did as when I started. Why? Because I want 10 frontline national marketing directors. Why? Because I want to make a huge difference on the planet. And I love the safety net that it puts around my family and our future. And I love being able to provide that for other people as well. You know, it's great to see your team and your friends be able to have their dreams come true. And then you get travel buddies who have time and money, right? Nikki and I got to go on sailing together a couple of years ago with Sean and Jennifer, and it was just great. You know, we went when nobody else could go.
I love that, travel buddies. I'm going to start using that. Find yourself a travel buddy.
It is
That's
so
right.
true. So
Yeah.
true.
So, you know, the thing is that if you want to make sure, you guys should write this one down. We did a whole call on this last night, but you want to make sure you know what you want your outcomes to be. And if you know what you want your outcomes to be, your activities to get there may change, right? Those shift. So what a lot of people do is they put on a bunch of activities. They don't really know what where they're going or what outcome they want. And so I have people all the time say to me, oh, I want to be a national marketing director, but they're only ever having customer conversations, like they've never invited anybody onto their team. I'm like, well, you know, you've got to have a structure in order of people on your team in order to get to that, right? So with the structure comes the volume. Remember that, right? So don't be looking at that. And then the other thing I asked my team last night is don't set title goals. You know, it'd be better for you to know what that title means. So I have so many people say, like, what do you want to do? I want to be a senior sales coordinator. They don't even know what that means. It'd be better for you to say, gosh, you know what, this year I'm going to build 3 really strong lines, right? So make sure you guys are setting your outcomes to be things that you can support with your activities and get consistent, because you got to remember that if you've got a whole group of people that are watching you and you keep quitting and not being consistent, even, you're going to have times that are busier than others, but if you're consistent, people will continue to follow you. But people get tired of walking up the hill and stopping and walking up the hill and stopping, and they turn around and eventually go, forget it, I'm going to go do something else. So stay consistent with it, but have fun with what you're doing. And I think if you can keep it fun and easy, it's a really simple business, really, you guys, honestly. It's pretty much just wash, rinse, repeat. I heard Paige say that one time, and I loved it. It's just totally true.
Well, Regan, it's 7:30 right on the dot. You did a magnificent job. And I'm so grateful that you graced us with your company tonight. I want you to have a Merry Christmas. I'd love us all to unmute our phones in our Zoom. Give her a great big thank you. And God bless you, Regan. Thank you so much. And Merry Christmas.
Everybody have a fabulous holiday season. We're going to be back. We're going to be back January 3rd with an amazing speaker. You will not want to miss it. I promise you. I promise you. So, Regan, thank you so much, my traveling buddy. Great job. Love you all. Happy holidays.
Happy holidays. You guys, if anybody wants,
Thank you, Regan.
if you want to take the record, or you to take, if anybody wants to ask